Hello everybody, SSA here, aka Super Suna Arashi, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you week 1 of the IBA Season 4 Wi-Fi League as we take on Poijz, coach of the Detroit Littens. Now, looking at his team, he has a very scary team with the likes of Kuren Black, Jirachi, Mega Gardevoir, Rotom Wash, also mons like Shaman, Entei, Landorus with Sand Force. His team is absolutely scary, and you know, his sea captains are Shaman and Entei, and of course I will be putting, you know, his team on the layout itself. And I'm not used doing team builders like this, and if you guys would like to see actual videos of team builders before the match instead of, you know, a team builder in the video of the match itself, let me know in the comment section below, and I will try to actually, you know, put some work into team building as well, or at least, you know, explaining you guys my mindset of why I chose this team for this week. So looking at his team, you know, I will definitely expect like a Kuren Black, the Mega Gardevoir of course, Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash is like a problem for my team. Shaman and Entei are probably a given as well, and you know, the Landorus is, even though without sheer force, Landorus can still be a problem for my team, if that makes any sense. So if we're going to my team, my first Pokemon that I bring is of course Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko is a huge powerhouse of my team, so it would be stupid of me not to bring him. And I'm going for a Choice Scarf, Modest Nature Tapu Koko, so that we definitely outspeed like a Choice Scarf Landorus or like a Choice Scarf Kuren Black, so that we can actually do damage and outspeed the opponent. Of course, Hidden Power Ice for the Landorus, and you know, if he wants to bring Shaman, we can hit that with a Hidden Power Ice as well. So you know, Hidden Power Ice, Volt Switch of course, and then Dazzling Gleam and Thunderbolt to do the damage. You know, pretty, you know, standard moveset for Tapu Koko, but it works for this matchup against his team. So next up, we're bringing our own Mega as well, Poseidon, holding Blast Unite of course, with Rapid Spin, Scald, Ice Beam, and Aura Sphere. I was thinking about bringing Dark Pulse instead of Aura Sphere, but I thought Aura Sphere would, you know, work well with our team against him, because if he wants to bring, like for instance, the Miltank, then you know, an Aura Sphere will do more than a Dark Pulse, and you know, Aura Sphere and Dark Pulse does the same type of damage against the Jirachi. So if he wants to bring the Jirachi, you know, an Aura Sphere or Dark Pulse, it wouldn't even matter, it will do the same damage, and you know, an Aura Sphere will also do more against the Kuren Black. So you know, me running Dark Pulse was kinda like, you know, it's good to flinch somebody out, but at the same time, if an Aura Sphere will do the same and do more to his team, like more members to his team, then Aura Sphere is a much safer bet for me to bring. High special attack EVs, of course also very much speed investments, so that we can actually hopefully outspeed a lot of his team members. Now, next up we have Morbius, the Gliscor, holding that Toxic or Poison Heal of course, with the Stealth Rocks, Earthquake, Knockoff, and Roost. Gliscor is just here to put up the Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks could be huge for our team, because if we can whittle down enough members of his team, like the Kuren Black, like the Mega Gardevoir, and like the Rotom Wash, members like Tapu Koko and Rodigon, which I will be talking about in a moment, can do amazing damage to his team. And you know, the Stealth Rocks just give that extra little chip damage to maybe one hit KO somebody of his team members on his side of the field. So Gliscor is here to put up the Stealth Rocks. If needed, we can knock off somebody, and if we get in the position, we can roost up and maybe hit somebody with the Earthquake. You know, a knock off on the Rotom Wash, for example, would be huge. Now next up we have X-Drive the X-Drive the Metagross, holding the Assault Vest, Clear Body with Bullet Punch, Meteor Mass, Earthquake, and Pursuit. Now Pursuit of course is there for the Jirachi. If we can get, you know, the initiative to Pursuit Trap the Jirachi, if he wants to bring like a Choice Scarf or a Choice Bandit Jirachi, a Pursuit is huge. It will do like 75% damage or more, depends on his spread. So you know, a Pursuit Trap strategy is something that, you know, can help us out a lot. Earthquake will do enough damage, medium mass and bullet punch. I got this set by watching some of Shady Penguin's matches in the UCL, and I think he ran an Assault Fested Metagross as well. So, you know, I was like, you know what, that could be useful for us. Of course, also investment in special defense, so we can lift some of the hits of his side of the field. For instance, the Entei, or the Gardevoir, or, you know, the Rotom Wash. We can, you know, or the Shaman, you know, anything that we can take a hit for, and then we can, you know, do some damage in return. So that is my reason for a Metagross. Then, of course, what I just said about now, Druddigon. Now I'm bringing a Life Orb, Sheer Force Druddigon with Outrage, Fire Punch, Sucker Punch, and Gunk Shot. Now the reason, and also, you know, a bit of investment in both special defense and defense, so we can tank some hits. Now the reason why I go for Outrage here is because if we can get rid of the Mega Gardevoir, like if he brings Mega Gardevoir, and we can get rid of that thing, Druddigon can potentially sweep. Druddigon can actually potentially sweep because it can tank and hit, and, you know, a Fire Punch against the Jirachi or a Sucker Punch against the Jirachi will do a decent amount of damage. A Gunk Shot will probably KO the Entei and will do a decent amount of damage against, you know, the Current Black. If he wants to switch in on that, if we get the chance to that, or an Outrage will just completely demolish everything on his team. I told you guys in a draft analysis that I want to, you know, make Druddigon as work, and that means that I'm not only going to use Druddigon for defensive purposes, I'm going to try to get as many kills with Druddigon as I can in this league, because Druddigon is an amazing mon, and I want to prove people that it is an amazing mon. So hopefully it can potentially do that against Poijz's team. Now next up we have a Media Fire, the Porygon 2, holding the leftovers with Trace, because if we can trace that Serene Grace from the Shaman or something else that could potentially, you know, be... for instance, if we can like trace the Rotom Wash, and, you know, it can go into the Landorus, yeah, the Landorus, then we have like... damn it, what was the ability? Come on. I'm totally falling a blend here. But, you know, we can make sure that, you know, Earth type attacks, ground type attacks won't hurt us, won't be effective to us. And then we can maybe, you know, do a sneaky little Ice Beam on the Landorus. And, you know, try attack for that, you know, hexing, hex purposes, recover and toxic. You can actually see that I'm not used to doing a team builder because sometimes I'm rambling on, but, you know, pretty standard moveset for a Porygon 2. You know, investment in special defense and HP, leftovers. So, you know, this thing is not here to die that quickly. This thing is here to put up the toxic, to, you know, hit that Ice Beam or try attack, or else we can just recover and hopefully, you know, stall out the opponent a little bit. I'm not a big fan of stalling, but, you know, if we have Porygon 2, we have to make use for it. So that is basically the team that I'm running this week. So in a moment you guys will see the replay of the match itself. Again, let me know in the comment section below what you guys would prefer. Do you guys prefer like this style of team building, like it's in the video itself, or do you guys maybe perhaps like a separate video for team builder? If you guys would like to see a separate video for team builder, I will try to, you know, make a separate video for that on the Fridays, which is the date that we can actually upload our team builder video. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys prefer. But I hope you guys will enjoy the match. I will give my commentary about that as well. So I will see you guys in a bit. And yeah, if you are already hyped, leave down a like, comment, share this video with others, subscribe button down below, and hit that bell icon. But let me just go right into the battle. So here we are with our replay of the battle. Week 1 of the IBA, the Groningen Noctowls versus the Detroit Littens against Poijz. And as you can see, he's bringing the Mega Gardevoir, the Rotom Wash, the Current Black, the Landorus, the Entei, and the Jirachi. So no Shaman, which I'm perfectly fine with because I thought Shaman could be a huge problem for my team. But of course the Rotom Wash is still a problem. So looking at my team, I thought the best way to go with this is starting off my Gliscor and get the Stealth Rock up as soon as possible. Because the Stealth Rock is, you know, a huge part for me in this battle. Because it can whittle his team down little by little. So as you can see here, I'm starting off with my Morbius, the Gliscor, as he's going to start with Soulless, which is his Mega Gardevoir. So in my head, in the back of my head, I was thinking like, please don't have Hidden Power Ice, please don't have Hidden Power Ice, please don't have Hidden Power Ice, because that could, you know, change my plan directly. So He's gonna Mega Evolve. I'm going to put up my Stealth Rocks, and unfortunately for him, and fortunately for me, he has hidden power, but he didn't gent it well, or his Jenner didn't gent it well, so it wasn't hidden power ice. So my Gliscor will take this. It's still going to do a chunk of damage, so I don't know what hidden power that actually was. We're gonna get a Poison Heal, of course, off with the Toxic Orb, and I don't want to get hit by a Hyper Voice at this point, so I'm gonna switch out into my Metagross here, because Metagross can counter this thing very well. So he's going to use a Hyper Voice on my Metagross, and as you can see, that does like 20% damage, I think. So he's not gonna stay in against the Metagross, of course, so he's going to go into his Rotom Wash. I could have pursued it there, but in the off chance he stayed in, I was going for a Meteor Mesh. If we can get an attack boost or something, you know, if he wants to go into the Rotom Wash, that would be still huge for me, because then I can slowly do more damage. Now here, at this point, I kinda misplayed a little bit. I thought he was going for a Volt Switch or a Will-O-Wisp, so I thought, you know what, I can go safely into my Gliscor. But he's going bold and go for the Hydro Pump, which was an amazing play for his part. And at this point, you know, Morbius did what it needed to do. He put up the Stealth Rocks. You know, I could have savored him, but I think losing Gliscor here wasn't a big deal for me in general. So now I can go into my Porygon 2, because Porygon 2 can, you know, take any damage from the Rotom Wash. Plus, we get the Levitate ability now with the Trace. So he's gonna Volt Switch. I'm a-okay with it. I clicked Toxic because if he wanted to switch out, anything on his team can get Toxic except for the Jirachi, but I know he's not going for the Jirachi against my Porygon 2. He's going into his Landorus, so the Landorus gets poisoned very early on in the match, which was very good for me, of course. Now, I don't know the reason why he immediately switched out back again. Maybe he realized that I had a Levitate ability, maybe he checked his Calc and noticed that Porygon 2 gets Ice Beam and he didn't want the risk using the Ice Beam, or maybe he, you know, wanted to scout if I got Ice Beam at all. But he's going to switch out as a step before back into his Rotom Wash, so his Rotom Wash will take that Ice Beam very... Oh no, he's going into the Jirachi. My apologies. He's going to into the Jirachi because the Jirachi, of course, you know, resists the Ice Beam. So he was going for the Jirachi here. Now I was like, you know what, I don't want to get Iron Flinched or something, and I don't want to, you know, whittle down the Porygon 2 just yet. I'm going to go into my Blastoise because Blastoise can take anything that this Jirachi wants to do. At least I thought it would be, but looking at that damage, I was thinking this Jirachi could be Choice Banded. This Jirachi could be Choice Banded. In the match itself, I was like, if this Jirachi is Choice Banded, that would be huge because then I can Pursuit Trap it. So I was going for a Aura Sphere, if I'm not mistaken, here, if he wants to switch out. But unfortunately for us, we get the flinched here. So, you know, Blastoise is kinda, you know, not doing at all everything in this match. So he's going to go for another Iron Head. I switch into my Metagross here to tank that hit. And at this point I was like, I'm free to Pursuit Trap you. I'm free to Pursuit Trap you. And that will do an amazing damage against the Jirachi. And the Jirachi is kinda out of the match right now, because we can potentially Sucker Punch it or, you know, just kill it off later on. Now he goes into his Entei, and at this point I was like, with the same situation as the Gliscor, like, you know, Blastoise, Mega Blastoise was already, you know, damaged that much that it wasn't really going to do anything in this match. Like, in the situation with the Gliscor, I could have saved the Gliscor. Here I was like, you know what, just tank any hits, let me see what you got on your set here, what this Entei is running. And he gets the burn in the end. It doesn't even matter because I was like stacking off this Blastoise here. And he went for 2 Sacred Fires there, so I was still in the mindset like, you know, is he a C-move user? Is he maybe Choice Scarf? Is he maybe Choice Bandit? Is he running 2 Choice Bandit? But as you can see right here, he is a C user here, because Entei and Shaman are both of a C captain, so I was still, you know, in the match itself like, are you holding a C item or are you, you know, holding something else? But as you can see, he's going for the Continental Crush. Now, we're going to take that very well. It will do like just over half, I would say 60% of damage. and we are gonna hit that gunk shot, and thanks to the stealth rock damage from earlier, the gunk shot will kill off the Entei, and thus Dragon will get his first kill for the Groningen Noctowls this season. I predicted it in the draft analysis. I want to make Dragon work, and it gets the first kill. Now he goes into his West Poppin, the Landorus. I was switching out because I thought Dragon can still be useful in the endgame of this match. He's going for a defog to get rid of the stealth rocks. I could have stayed in and hit them with a outrage, but in my mindset, if I did that, he could easily go into his Mega Goddess for kill the Dragon off. So, you know, I was like, it's sad that he's gonna get the defog off, but at the same time, I'd rather have the stealth rocks on his side gone than my Dragon gone. So I'm here with my Media Fire, the Porygon 2, and I just clicked Ice Beam. If he wants to stay in, if he wants to do something, you know, go ahead. We're gonna kill you off with the Ice Beam. He's going for the knockoff, so I'm glad, you know, that I stayed in and clicked Ice Beam, and I would voluntarily trade off my leftovers for a kill on the Landorus, because that Landorus was still very threatening for my Tapu Koko. So then he's going into his Soulless, and now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slowly turn this battle back to ours. We already did that a little bit, but he's going to switch back out to his my wife, the Rotom Wash. I was like, okay. I went for a Tri Attack here because now with the Landorus gone, I can just, you know, click Tri Attack because there's no reason for me not to go for an Ice Beam. If he wants to go into the Rotom Wash, as you can see here, you know, we can still do a little bit of chip damage. He's going for the Protect here. I went for a Recover here to get as much health back. And we're gonna do that, and you can see we're gonna recover all of the HP back. So my Porygon 2, even without leftovers, is back on full health. Now I can just sit here and click like Ice Beam, Tri Attack, I can click Toxic, and we're actually going to hit a nice clean Tri Attack again, because as I said before, I want to do some damage, and we can actually do that damage. So the Tri Attack will connect there. He's going back into his Soul Edge. He was kind of switching back and forward to those two. Now the Soul Edge will Toxic us, which is kind of annoying, but you know, we can still do a little bit of chip damage. And I think at this point, the Gardevoir was now at a range that a Bullet Punch would kill. Like, I think a Bullet Punch at full wouldn't kill, but now, you know, the Bullet Punch is going to 100% kill off. And, you know, I'm trying to go as he's going for a Psyshock here, and unfortunately for us, the Psyshock will be a critical hit, and the Poison will, you know, kill off the Porygon 2. But as you can see here, we're doing a little bit more damage to the Gardevoir, because I want to be 100% certain if I can kill off this thing, and I'm very much more, you know, with team building and that kind of stuff, and with calculating, I'm trying to do everything as I planned beforehand. So no, like, freestyling like in the drafts. I want to plan everything as smooth as I planned in the team builders and everything. And I can just click Bullet Punch, as you can see here, and the Gardevoir is gone. Now he can go back into his Rotom Wash. Now, as I said before, this Rotom Wash could be a problem, and this actually is a problem. He's gonna click Hydro Pump, which will not do a lot because we are Assault-vested Metagross. Now I'm going here for the Meteor Mass. I know it's resisted, but we can hit it with an Earthquake, and you know, I don't think he was going to switch out his Rotom Wash, so a Pursuit wasn't, you know, necessary. And if we can get the boost with the Meteor Mass, the next Meteor Mass or Bullet Punch will do more. Now he's gonna Protect, trying to get as much HP back from his leftovers. I went for the Bullet Punch here because I know if he was going for another Hydro Pump, we'll die. So, you know, the Bullet Punch was there to do a little bit of chip damage if necessarily, if X-Drive was going to faint away. As you can see here, we're actually going to Bullet Punch here to do a little bit of chip damage, as he is going to Thunderbolt. And unfortunately for us, it won't kill. I'd rather have the X-Drive being killed here, because now he can just go and, you know, full switch out, or he can go, you know, he could have gone for another Protect to get as much more leftovers recovery back. He's going to go for the full switch, however, to switch out, which is fine by me because that gives me the initiative. He's going to touch me, Jirachi, and I'm like, this is the perfect chance to bring out my Druddigon and click that Sucker Punch, because if we can surprise him, the Jirachi is gone, and then we can potentially Sucker Punch the Kyurem Black if he wants to go in that, as the Jirachi will die from the Sucker Punch here, and with that, we can actually whittle down the Kyurem Black so that a Dazzling Gleam from the Tapu Koko will kill it, because I calced it and I think it was like 75% damage from a Dazzling Gleam from my Tapu Koko on the Current Black. So I was like, let me see how much this Sucker Punch does, and I was like, the Dazzling Gleam should kill. The Dazzling Gleam from my Tapu Koko, as he's going for the Earth Power to kill up my Druddigon, the Dazzling Gleam will kill from Tapu Koko at this range. So even without the Stealth Rocks, we still did what I wanted to plan beforehand. But then, you know, we are Choice Scarfed into the Dazzling Gleam, and then his last opponent, the Rotom Wash, will be a tough nut to crack. As you can see here, the Dazzling Gleam will connect, and the Current Black is gone. So now it's a 1v1 with the Tapu Koko and the Rotom Wash. So at this point, it was either hoping for a crit, hoping for a Hydro Pump miss. As you can see here, he will go for the Protected to get as much recovery back from the leftovers. The Dazzling Gleam won't connect. It's also a good chance for him to scout out if I'm Choice Scarf or if I'm, you know, something else. At this point, it was, you know, 100% certain that I was Choice Scarf because we outsped the Current Black there. So as you can see, the Dazzling Gleam will not do much. Then the Hydro Pump will connect, and that will do a decent amount of damage. So the only thing that I could hope for right now is if we can get a crit Dazzling Gleam, or he misses the Hydro Pump after his next Protect turn to get as much recovery back again. So again, the Dazzling Gleam will not hit, unfortunately, because of the Protect. And at this point, the only thing that could secure a win for me was a crit Dazzling Gleam, or he should, you know, miss his next Hydro Pump. We will hit the Dazzling Gleam, and unfortunately, we don't get the crit, and he will kill off our Tapu Koko with the Hydro Pump. Even though we lost this match, you know, 1-0, I still had an amazing feeling throughout the match. I had the feeling that I was in control halfway through the match. I had the feeling that, you know, everything that I had planned for with the team building and everything went according to plan. And, you know, at the end game, it was, you know, 1v1. I had the chance, he had a chance, and in my end, he deserved to win at this point. He got a little bit lucky with the crits and a flinch with the Mega Blastoise. But on the other hand, you know, if he had low hidden power ice on the Mega Glider 4, the Mega Gliscor probably would have died. I checked the calc afterwards, and there was like 93% that the Gliscor would have gone down at that point. So all in all, I had an amazing match against Poijz. Of course, his channel will be down in the description below, as his Twitter, as well as all the other coaches in the league. And next week, we will face against the Golden D Knights, which is led by Coach New Nation Games. So be sure to check that out. I will probably do a separate video for team building. I decided to do that after I recorded the team building because I had so much fun recording that video, just talk about Pokemon in general. But if you enjoyed this match, if you enjoyed week 1 of the IBA Season 4, the Wi-Fi League, let me know in the comment section below. Like this video, comment, share this video with others, slash the subscribe button down below, and hit that bell icon, because then you get notified every time I upload a new video, and that is sincerely appreciated. But I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!